So super soil is simply microbes, guys. What we're putting on the soil here on the land is a microbe inoculation. In other words, these are the microbes that are missing in the soil that help to fix nitrogen to the soil. So instead of putting down commercial petroleum-based fertilizer and or a spray application of fertilizer, we are building soil by re-inoculating our soil here on the farm with the microbes that the soil needs to fix nitrogen. Oh, yeller! Hey folks, welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm. Today we're going to be having a little bit of fun. We're going to be using the TYM T574 tractor along with the Ag Spray sprayer. I messed up, and I will fully admit on the last video using this Ag Spray sprayer, and you'll see some footage of it, I was spraying with the wrong tips at the wrong PSI. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to change the tips on this Ag sprayer. I'm going to give you a little more detail about how it works because I learned a lot. I reached out to Ag Spray, talked to them, and we have the appropriate tips now, and we're going to be spraying this field right out here in front of the house. So come along today as we spray some super soil out on our pasture. Super soil is super awesome. We'll show you exactly what it is too.
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way. I ain't afraid of life. Times like this. If you mess with my freedom, I'll tell you just what you can kiss.
So first things first, we need to define our project without defining our pickup truck sitting right there. That's a cool old C10 pickup that I love to drive and haul firewood and stuff with. So out here in front of the house, and you'll see this in the drone footage here in just a minute, is about a 4-acre pasture, okay? So between the yard and the pasture out here right in front of the house is about 4 acres, about 1.5 acres over there where you'll see the hay bales in the drone footage. About 1/16 of an acre in the front yard right here, and that's my mobile home that I live on here on a 150-acre farm in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. You know those mountain boys, they like living in them trailers, right? So this tractor here is the HST T574 from TYM Tractors. It's a hydrostatic tractor. In other words, you mash one pedal like a lawnmower. You mash one pedal, it goes forward, and one pedal, it goes backwards. You got a left-hand side is the brake pedal. A little bit different than a standard tractor where the left foot would be on a clutch and you'd be changing gears. This is an awesome, awesome machine. It's around 55 horsepower, and it's perfect for hauling the Ag sprayer. So this is the Ag Spray MC90 from Ag Spray Equipment. I wrote down false information and I got to clean that off with an alcohol wipe and get my Sharpie and write down the right information here. So on the back of this Ag Spray sprayer, there are 3 tabs. You flip those tabs up, 1, 2, 3, to engage them, to pump. I think it's up, maybe down. We'll find out in a second. One way or the other, they pump, they spray. This is your adjuster for how many PSI you want to go with. And then there's a set nut right here for your adjuster. Really cool. And I can watch this right from the cab of the tractor. And if I need to access it, which I will need to access it, I'll show you real quick how I do that. So there's a hatch on the back of the tractor, a latch or hatch, however you want to say it. That would be up, the up position. Shut that. And now I can access from the back window of the tractor everything I need to access right here. Down below, this is hooked up with 3.1, 2, 3, and we have a PTO driven pump right there. There's a return and a pump. Inside this, the MC90 from Ag Spray Equipment holds about 90 gallons. This has a long-range ergonomic handgun. We're going to spray that here in a second. I want to play with it. I have yet to play with that. This is the wand, and that is another wand. There are 12, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 12 spray nozzles on here. Now, the spray nozzles that I had were these critters. This is a spray nozzle also. This is for low pressure. Once your pressure gets down below about 10 PSI, this will start to eject so that you don't get drippage from your spray nozzles, which is something that's really important if you're spraying an herbicide or something like that. We're not spraying herbicide here on the farm. So we pop this guy off, and this is how it's all set up right there. There is a spray tip right there and a spray nozzle right there. And these are the 3 parts. I'll take these parts out real quick and show you. So this is that, the tip, and a rubber washer right there. And I've already pre-assembled every one of the replacement tips for this. And simply enough, all I'm gonna do is adjust this. This is the number 4 tip, and we're just gonna stick this up on the ag sprayer, just like so, and we're gonna turn it, just like so. See how that spray nozzle is lined up parallel with our equipment, okay? So we need that to be parallel so it sprays straight down when we get our sprayer spray rig all spread out. Now, this is how it opens up and spreads out. We'll pull this little pin, just like so. Set that pin up there, and one wand comes out. That wand is spring loaded, and then this wand, it comes out, and it's spring loaded. You see that? Less than 10 PSI, this little tip will spray. What have I learned about buying a sprayer? I've learned buy extra sprayer parts. There is nothing worse than being out here working and trying to run your spray rig and losing a tip and not having a tip. So you need extras. You need probably 2 extra tips for each tip that you use. Now the tips that we're gonna use today are the red tips, the 004s, I believe, and we had the 002s on there. The 004s will spray at 40 PSI, 30 gallons per acre. And that's what we're doing. 3 acres with 90 gallons, and what we're spraying is called super soil. So this is super soil, the world's best fertilizer, claimed. I don't know it for sure, but it's claimed. 100% pure, natural, organic, no chemicals ever. This 1 kilogram patch contains 1 bazillion zillion super soil microbes. That's a lot of zeros right there. That's 6. You guys tell me. So there's 12 zeros in there. That's a lot. It also contains powerful growth booster that is the equivalent of 20 tons of organic compost. Simply add water, apply using a crop sprayer, drench, or even a watering can. So you can use this stuff in your garden. You can use this stuff in your lawn. You can use it with a pump sprayer. You can mix it in a can. You can use it in all sorts of stuff. 1 kilogram of super soil will do a maximum of up to 1,000 liters, enough to cover 10 acres. So I figured out the math here. With 90 gallons, we just use 1/3. This is a 1 kilogram package, so we're gonna use 0.33333 infinity of this package. We're just gonna use 1/3 of this package. We're gonna mix it in with 90 gallons. While this is filling up and mixing in, we're gonna change out all the tips, and I'll show you exactly how we change the tips out. Here's how it opens up. Let's just show you real quick. We'll fold that guy back up. We'll bring this down. This TYM has an awesome handle on the outside. This makes it easier to hook up equipment. And when we need to go down, and all 3 of these should be down, that's the off position. And when we need to go down, we just pull that rod, and down she goes. Whoop. All right, so we've got our tips. We'll set those right there. We'll go ahead and turn on our water hose. We'll start filling this guy up. And I know you guys are chomping at the bit to see what this stuff looks like. So we've got our water hose filling up. We're about halfway full right now. I have mixed this before, and I suggest that you mix it as you go. In other words, put a little bit of water in, maybe about that much water in your sprayer, and then open this up and put what you need in there, because it's kind of, well, it's really powdery. So we'll open this guy up. You can look in here, it's just black. I'm gonna reach in and get a little finger full here. It's so light, it's like charcoal feeling. It's just black. I'm just gonna pour about 1/3 of this in here. Whoop. And see if I can get some all over me. There we go. And that's the super soil. Dusty, a little dusty. I'm just barely wearing a little bit of it. All right. So, the questions I've been asked about super soil, and I have not seen results from it yet. The first application I did about 2 weeks ago. With super soil, you will see results in about 3 weeks, they say. 3 to 4 weeks, depending on the time of year, depending on if it's a wet time of year, depending on your weather, your climate, and all that jazz. Can you spray super soil in the summer, in the hot time of the summer? Yes. Can you spray it in the winter? Yes. It will work slower in the winter, which seems counterintuitive to me because I like to plant my grass seed when it's cool outside. So yes is the answer with super soil in the summertime. Can you spray it on your plants, on your pastures, on your garden, and the super soil dry on your plants? Yes, it will reactivate as soon as it gets wet again. And we're spraying in the evening time because I want to catch that evening and overnight dew, and I want it to drip down on the soil. So my thought process says to spray this in the evening, about the time the sun's going down, so you get good coverage, the ground stays wet, the grass stays wet, it doesn't dry on the plant, and it seeps down into the soil. So that's what my spiel is. We're gonna go ahead and start the tractor up real quick and raise up our lift. There we go. All right, we'll let the tractor warm up a little bit too as we fill up our ag sprayer. Awesome. Guys, this tractor just purrs like a little kitten, you hear it? Now, folks have asked me, why aren't you using an electric tractor to do this? It's hot, man. It's 87 degrees. I got a cab tractor. Why would I be in an open station tractor if I've got a cab tractor? Let's go ahead and change these tips out and have some fun. So here's an old tip. Uh-oh, don't spray me, hose. And all we're gonna do is simply turn this, slip that tip out. Sometimes you'll see a little filter. This is a filter right here. That little filter is important. I think that's a 50 micron filter. We'll go ahead and we'll give that a little rinsey poo. And then we'll put that filter back in place where it goes on the tip. Right there. And slip it right up in there. Okay? You really can't get this wrong. Pop it into place. Your sprayer is spraying that direction. Couldn't be easier to change the tips on this. Pop it off. Pop a new one on. You're gonna buy an ag sprayer, you're gonna buy any kind of spray rig, I recommend the ag spray. Get yourself a box to keep all your sprayer parts in there. I have a box for ATV parts, I have a box for John Deere Gator parts, I have a box for my John Deere tractor, I've got a TYM box. Each machine on the farm has its own little storage tote with all of the little things that I need for it. The Ventrac, every little tractor, every little vehicle. And all the records are kept in that tote also. Gotta keep track of your records. When we get done with the spray rig here, we will clean it off. We will actually pop off the tips when we're done for the season. We'll pop off the tips, we'll clean all those filters, and we'll run good clean water through this for about 5 minutes until we get everything nice and clean and pretty and proper. We're about full, so let's shut the water off and head out in the field and get the spraying. I'll pull through the gate, then I'll open up the spray rig, and then I'll let her rip. But before we do that, we gotta try that wand, right? Let's try the wand. So I've got the PTO on the tractor right now. The PTO is called Power Takeoff. It's the thing that spins on the back of the tractor. You can see right here, the PTO is spinning the pump, and here's that wand that I've yet to try. So, let's just give her a little shot. I just want to try it out real quick. All right. Oh, dude. I know who's gonna win the Super Soaker party. So that's for spot spraying. If you're spraying the edge of a field, if you're spraying a place where you can't get up into, like, the backyard right here. So I could back up in here with a tractor and spray super soil all over the backyard with that wand. That's what that's for. And or spot spraying if you're spraying something like glyphosate or an herbicide out on your farm or on a power line cut through or something like that. Let's hop in the tractor, get busy. So I engage my PTO here, bam, I'll reach back in, We want to be at much lower pressure. So, trying to get her down to about 40 psi. We'll have to feather it a little bit. We start spraying. I think I want to run it up to about 70. And then we'll release 1, 2, 3. And get a little more pressure. All right, now we give it more pressure, we give it more throttle. All right. Now we know our setting, we're not gonna hurt a thing in the world by spraying a little bit of extra right there. All right, guys, if you like this kind of content, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you back here on the farm with me. So what you can't see here is that I'm going between 4.5 and 5 miles an hour. These spray tips spray 0.2 gallons per minute. So if I go that speed, and you guys can do the math to double check me if you want to, but if I go 4 to 5 miles an hour, we're spraying 30 gallons to the acre. And again, this takes 90 gallons, so we'll get 3 acres sprayed with 1 tank. Now you guys do the math. This is a big farm. This is a larger piece of property, and we probably have about 65 acres of pasture to spray. So it's gonna take a lot of time to get these sprayed. If you have a bigger tractor, something that can handle a larger water tank, I say go big or go home. So get a bigger tank if you can, because it'll be helpful. You won't have to stop quite as often. If you could find something that would mix about 250 gallons, you could dump the entire container of super soil in there. So super soil is simply microbes, guys. What we're putting on the soil here on the land is a microbe inoculation. In other words, these are the microbes that are missing in the soil that help to fix nitrogen to the soil. So instead of putting down commercial petroleum-based fertilizer and or a spray application of fertilizer, we are building soil by re-inoculating our soil here on the farm with the microbes that the soil needs to fix nitrogen. Now in about 3 weeks to a month, I've done half of one pasture up here behind the house, and we will see the results. I'm gonna try this on some pastures and some paddocks, and I'm gonna leave some not treated so we can see what the difference is here in a few weeks. So stay tuned, be sure you subscribe to the channel. Love to have you back here, and we'll learn a little bit together. Let's finish up this job. Lots of spraying to do here. So guys, if you have any questions about any of the equipment that we're using today or any of the product that we're using today, please post it down there. There'll be a link to the ag spray sprayer that I'm using today, and there'll be a link to the super soil. So you can do your own research and see if it's what's right for you and your property. All right guys, so that's it for today. So we just got done spraying all this out here in front of the house. It already looks gorgeous. The grass is really green. We've had plenty of rain this year, so a great year for a bumper crop of grass and a bumper crop of cows. We've got 19 baby calves right now. Super cool, guys. Well, I hope you guys will hit the like button. If you have any questions about super soil or about the ag sprayer or about the tractor or any of the stuff that we're doing here on the farm, we're trying to get away from going to the co-op and buying fertilizer. We're trying to get away from putting things on our land that are petroleum based. We're trying to be all organic. We're trying to not use sprays. This is a spray, but it's an inoculation of microbes to the soil. The microbes that fix nitrogen are in that tank right there. So I'm refilling the tank for tomorrow's spray. I'll be out here in this big pasture across the way. Can you put livestock on immediately? Yes. You can spray this field with livestock in it, okay? Super soil is super safe. Really, really interesting stuff, guys. I'll let you know, again, in 3 weeks to a month or so, what the results are. I'm gonna spray about half of that field and leave about half that field not sprayed, and we're gonna see what it does. So we'll see you very shortly, guys. Be sure you subscribe to the channel. Love to have you back here on the Stoney Ridge with me. Take care. Woo!
Come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife, bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.
The Stoney Ridge Farm Channel. Let's do it again. Welcome back to the Stoney Ridge Farm Channel. Today, smart. If you want to wear a respirator, fold it up before you go.
Hey, there where you been? I can't find you in the grass.
See you guys.